So in this video, we're going to go over the petrodollar, what it is and why it's important for us as crypto investors. So synopsis, put simply, the petrodollar system is an exchange of oil for US dollars between countries that buy oil and those that produce it. That's all it really is. And the revenue from oil, though, is mainly in Middle Eastern countries. So the petrodollar system is that there was an agreement that the dollar was to be the main currency used, the only currency used when transacting for oil. And oil is a part of everything that we use, basically. So we have this kind of value proposition for the US dollar and countries for to hold it, and you need oil to have a functioning economy and have everything really run smoothly. So without US dollar, no oil. Without oil, no economy. So that's basically how they bullied being the world reserve currency and getting into the system. So there's this demand put on the US dollar that, hey, this currency is needed and it's a necessity to buy something of real value, not something backed by nothing. Oil is used within products. It's used in many systems today. So they put this artificial value on the dollar, an artificial demand. So that's basically the sum up of the petrodollar system. But let's dive a little deeper. So let's get the key terms. So the petrodollar is just the US dollars paid to an oil exporting country for the sale of the commodity of oil. So oil is a commodity just like gold, silver. And the key takeaways, any country that exports their oil must sell it in US dollars. So if the US dollar loses value, so does the oil. April of 2020, we saw oil go negative. You would get paid to actually take the oil. It was the first time in history that oil fell to negative. How could oil fall to negative? There was a break in our system and it showed on that day. So it was on April 20th, 2020. The front month, May 2020, WTI crude contract dropped 306%. And I remember watching it in real time. It was insane. Or $55.90 for the first session, to settle at negative $37.63 a barrel on the New York Mercantile Exchange. So oil prices not only hit rock bottom, but they also broke the rock. That was April 20th, 2020. So we're getting close to that almost being 2 years now. So negative prices in oil. Crazy times we're living in. Okay, so how does the petrodollar affect the real dollars though? And when and how does that happen? It was agreed that the new global currency would be the US dollar, and America would have the privilege to be the only country to print this currency. If the country's currency value became too weak relative to the dollar, the bank would buy up its currency in foreign exchange markets, and that would lower the currency supply and raise the price. If the currency became too high, the bank would print more, and that would increase the supply, and that would lower its price. So that, remember, we learned the law of supply and demand with the inflation, right? So ended in 1971 when the US suffered stagflation. And that just means a combination of inflation, which we learned, and a recession. If the country's currency value becomes too weak relative to the dollar, the bank would buy up the currencies in the foreign exchange markets. So if the currency became too high, then the bank would just print more of it, and that would increase the supply, and it would lower its prices. So it was agreed that the new global currency would be the US dollar, and America would have the privilege to be the only ones to be able to print this currency.
If you're new to crypto, or if you've been in crypto for a while and you still don't feel like you have a strategy, then we have the perfect thing for you, because it's one thing to have a strategy, but it's another thing to automate that strategy. So what we're doing right now is a waterfall flash sale. This is the start of week 1. We just launched our Stargate automated experience, which gives you access to utilize our custom automatic trading bots that we built for XRP, XLM, HBAR, Algorand, and a bunch of other altcoins. If you're sick and tired of watching the charts every single day, worrying, stressing, guessing about prices and if it's going to go up or down, then look no further than this, because this is the holy grail for any crypto holder or trader.
So what is it? What's a petrodollar? So it's a revenue from oil mainly in Middle Eastern countries, and it's a revenue that is denominated in US dollars. The beginning of this petro system was in 1944 at the Bretton Woods Conference, and any country that exported their oil must sell it in US dollars. So an increase in the oil demand would mean an increase in the dollar demand, which would then increase the economic living and standards of living of the US economy. So it's so crazy that 1944, it seems like it was a really big year as far as the petrodollar. We had the Bancor proposal, the creation of the IMF, the World Bank, we had the gold standard, and all these things around that same time frame. And then it's like that moment in time, there was a huge transformation to a different system. So we're sitting at 88 years later, and we look to be at a huge transformation in the likes of similar to back in 1944. The whole system got shooken up. Now it's coming back now, where the whole system's about to get shaken up again. So that's the petrodollar, guys. In the next video, we're gonna go over world reserve currencies to finish it off. Then there'll be a bonus resource, a guy named Gregory Mandarino, very committed dude, passionate, and he just tells you how it is. And he kind of talks a lot about this stuff. And he's a good resource to watch. He was plugged in with the banks as well too. So that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video where we're gonna talk about world reserve currencies.
Are you sick and tired of just stressing and guessing, holding and hoping, and watching the crypto market go through its ups and downs and not doing anything about it? If you're someone in that position, then look no further than the Stargate automated experience. We just launched it and we built custom automated trading bots for XRP, XLM, HBAR, and a bunch of other utility coins. If that sounds of interest to you and you want to learn more, click the video below and I'll see you over there.